take out your good stuff. Got it. Take out your fluff and then pop it into your shaker, which is this guy here. So it's like a brass. Just give it a good tap.
Did you say the size of the hook, Bernie?
Size 10.
10.
It's a size 10, size 8, size 6, size 12.
Oh, they're big.
Yep. Yeah, because it's a big fly. It's designed to start on the point or the bob. As we call it. Sorry, I just got back, but it's the first fly I put up. So it's going to be the fly at the front that I'm pulling back to move water. So it's a moving water fly. You then get your tail, clean it out, clean out your fluff, and the length of so you can go a half a length or a full length. I'm going to go roughly just over a full length. And then just do a pinching loop, pinching loop, pinching loop, pinching loop. So as you can see, it's sitting there. Then come in with your scissors and cut off your end. I'll clean that up in a second, so don't stress. Also, then I'll take a bunch of flash because I'm just obsessed with flash in lock flies because the water's dirty. If you look at the lakes we're in Tassie, the water was very dirty. So with that, then we can actually put some flash on. I just butchered that tail. All right, we'll start again. So this time we're having a shorter tail because I butchered the first one.
Adapting
as we go.
Thousands have done that.
Yep. Yes. Also, because it's slippery old stuff, roll here. Get your super glue. So I'm going to add some super glue to tinfoil. So I'll get my super glue. Pour a small bit out onto your tinfoil. And that will stop your tinfoil will sit there, and that will stop your glue setting. So you'll be able to go back, put a bob on. It's called the tinfoil method or cut method, whatever you want. And get your bobbin needle, grab a bit of glue, pop it on there, and then you just leave that to the side. So it saves you opening up the glue. And back to our flash. Get your flash. And the way I do it is I just pull it back. Double it up like this. Pull it down. And then lock it home. Then cut your flash off. So that would sit out in the back of the fly. And just clean it up. So you get on a big fly, you can put 3 or 4. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to do some dubbing, put in hair wing, more dubbing, put in another hair wing, and then finish with a hackle. So I'm going to put in some field spur out of claret, which I got from Central Angler in Tassie. It's one of the few places that got seals for left. I couldn't get anywhere else. But any of the man-made fibers will work. Then get your wax. It's not a heavy tack, so it's old Gert's fly maker, so it's like candle wax because I don't want it really super tacky. Pop that on and do like a cigar as you pop it on. So you just start it there, and you can take it off if there's too much in the way. Get out of the way. Just pull off the rest, and we come back to our clump of hair again. And you can put a good bit on if you want, or you can take it off. Depends on if it's a really choppy day, you want a heavy dress fly, or if the water's really colored, or if the fish are big, put something there to give them something nice to chew. You could also, I didn't try it, but I might try it over the weekend. We've got a lot of time to kill over the weekend. I might try this with possum fur, see how does it work. You've got your hair as well. Present it back and just put it to the length of the tail. So it's going to sit there. Pinch and turns, pinching turns, pinch and turns again. And it's going to sit there out of the way, and just put a nice couple of close wraps to let it get there. Come in with a small bit of super glue. Pop it on your thread, so it stops everything moving along. And then you can come in and just cut off the waist. And build back your head. I'm going to get that stuff under the glass of vanish. Give it a bit of a dressing. And just you can break off the shanks there that you don't need. And build a base for your second body. If you want, you can put another bit of flash in, but it would be a little bit over the top.
And see what you say, Bernie, about this fly when it's finished. It's going to push a lot of water and move a lot of water.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot. I mean, I've started off with a size 10. I probably should have done a 6 or an 8. You know, which sounds like really big, but you know, my Uncle Pat, that he was a bloke that was in Neil's article. He'll fish 8s as standard, drop down to 10s, and
yeah,
he sees a 12 as a small fly. He doesn't have a 14. You won't find a 14 in his box. No, that's not saying that he's right, but he just doesn't. They don't. The tie. But he doesn't fish competition. He just fishes for fun. The good thing is it also does. You do get a lot of practice tying hair wings, because you put 3 hair wings on this, and hair wings can be a bit slippy. So I'm saying that just to give myself an allowance if it does roll off the top. I also have this small little scissors here, which is designed as a trimmer. So I use this just to trim. Just take your time, because you don't want to chop your thread, especially in a live stream.
Or you can give us some lockdown haircuts there, Bernie.
Yeah, you could smack away at it. If you're brave, you could also singe them off as well, but I'm not that brave. And you follow some more super glue, and the super glue is still viscous. It's still running. It hasn't dried.
So Bernie, you said this is like a hair wing. So this is a hair winged fly, I suppose, is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it's all hair.
Yeah.
But it's not like your traditional So if you look at your traditional hair wing fly, and
Yeah,
what you could do is you could leave it as is, because it's quite acceptable now. But I'm just going to really challenge myself, and then I'm going to actually put a claret hackle over the top of it, just to make it a bit more fun. And if you go too hard, you can always come back. Oh, we lost the camera. Sorry, guys. That's a way of just cleaning off your fly, is burning your hackles off. But you do run the risk that if you overburn,
Yeah.
you have to start again. So then you grab one of your hackles. Sorry, here, I'm just trying to find one here. So this is a dark claret. Bought this cape through customs, 2 more capes like it, and I didn't get stopped.
it's
just a guy
interesting. A dark claret thing like that. I haven't seen too many of them here.
No, I mean the guy that died is a guy called Rod Ty. That was his real name. He was in Fermanagh.
Tony, have you seen those dark claret capes or saddles?
No, I haven't.
I haven't seen them either.
That's them there. So there's a guy, Rod Ty. He passed away from cancer from dying capes very young. He left a very young family behind because he was doing a Pritric orange and a Pritric or citric, or he was doing like a lot of like yellows and sooty olives and all that type of stuff. But whatever he was using a traditional color. He got cancer from it, and he lost the battle. So that there is a dry fly, or if I want to go webby, you can put your like a marabou if you want, but I'm going to go this one here. Actually, that's too much. I'll use that for a dry fly. I want a bit bigger fly. I do want a bit more than that. And I've got like a couple more of these back in Ireland, so I was going to take the chance to get my brother to send them to me, but I don't want customs to stop them, and then I lose all my capes. So I'm just going to tie it in like a dry fly, like it's a wet. So it's not going to be like a dry fly sticking out. I'm going to as I tie it, I'm going to bend it around. Everybody knows what that is.
It's a cockhackle.
Cockhackle, yeah. Synthetic cockhackle, yeah. With my hand. Just be bits. And then you've got your system here. I normally tie by hand, but I've got my left wing out of action. So twist it around. Then just sweep your hackle back. Each time I wind, I just sweep it back. Which is like it's a wet fly. It's a dry wet fly style. So I've wound it 4 times.
Yeah, I like the description of how to fish it. You know, you can pop it and pull it down, and then it'll bob up again.
Yep. So you'd be put gink or something on it.
Yeah, with a bit of gink.
Yeah, I'm really rooting myself here. And come and just push up. I'm gonna be brave. Just leave a bit off there. And just come and finish your head.
A lot of those odd colours, you're better to dye from a white cape yourself anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, I noticed David's just bought a new book for our library about dyeing materials as well.
Yeah. I've been trying to get hold of that. Well, I was going to grab hold of it, and it's damned expensive and unavailable mainly.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to having a look at it too, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony and I have been threatening to have a dying session, and we can't wait for the bloody COVID to get over so we can get on with it. I've got everything all ready to go. All I need is Dan to give us a bit of a hand.
Now, my experience was bleaching the possum tail. That was a bit of fun.
Yeah. You go to the ladies' hairdressers and you get that bleaching compound. I bought that.
I did,
That does the
Tony.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warehouse or one of those
Well,
places.
there's a supply shop just around the corner from me, so I went round there.
Yeah.
We're going to have to
going
use.
in and asking for unusual stuff. I once went in there a few years ago and said, "Have you got a hairbrush with bright red knobs on the end of the bristles?" They said, "Oh, maybe." And I said, "I don't care. It doesn't have to be a good one because I'm just going to cut it up." But
Tony's-
I can't find my UV, so I'm just going to put super glue on the thread, and I'll find a light. I think this could be charging outside, or my desk's a mess. So I just put super glue on it, shorten it up, just wrap the super glue to finish it off, and just do a for the whip finish.
I mean, the beauty of super glue is all you need to do is just that one half hitch and it's locked in.
And you're done. So that's the fly there. So as you can see, you can actually see it there in the voice. I'll just move it.
I knew there was a reason they invented Velcro for the spacecraft.
So as you can see there, look, it's a really buggy fly,
Oh, gee, that's a lot.
and it's you got your twinkle in the ass, which is your flash. You know, it doesn't have the original, but I like it. So that fly there has got underneath. I've combed it out. If you want, you can cut it back, but I'm not going to bother. You have your tree. So on a size 6, if you want, you could put 4 on it. So that's the claret version of the Sedgehog. So you'd run that, then you would run a standard, probably a merger or something like that underneath, or your possum, or your some fly that you can pull, and then your last fly would be either a nymph or a bloody butcher or something like that. Something that's just a bare hook to win. Or I fished 3 of these, 4 of these at a time, and you can see the trout coming across the waves at them because you're fishing across. We're fishing onto rocks, or we're fishing onto grass on lakes. So we're the boat's drifting along the corner, and we're firing in as far as we can and just pulling it back. So you'd have a full team of these up, and they're going to work. So straight enough fly, and they're easy to tie, so you don't mind losing them. So
It's basically an exciter pattern. Do you ever fish it just as a sole fly?
no, I never have. You probably can. I mean, I did see reading a bit there about Stan that you can also use it as for cam water, cast it out. So it's going to be a bit like the carrot, and then have some nymphs underneath and use it as a, dip it underneath. But it's normally, I fish this, where I fished it in Ireland was on 10-foot and 11-foot rods, where it's traditional lock style, casting it out, drawing it back. And it does move. You can also put legs on it, which is, I've seen some of the people have added to it, where they've put your knotted legs from a pheasant tail. Like the pheasant tail feathers, you knot them, and you can put tails out. So anybody fish the bibio fly?
Yep.
So you can do a bibio version. I'll just do a bibio version next. So that's one. So as you can see, you can wrap them out fairly quick. My desk is already a mess.
You're fishing those in a team of flies.
Yeah.
In Victoria, we're only allowed to fish 2.
Yeah,
you
so
can
that's
fish 3.
Actually fish 3, but
Yeah.
I mean, I would still see that on a good hatch of flies, you can put that up. I think I would have liked to see how it done in Tassie. because I think it's definitely got a place in Tasmania. I know that I was on a talk where we had a guy talking about lakes, and I had mentioned 2 flies, Connemara black and Mallet and Claret, and all the Claret flies, because Claret is the color we use a lot, not black. So that's a lot of our flies will have this color, and a Sedgehog would definitely be in there. I'm going to go a bit bigger. I'm going to go for size 8. Just make it a bit easier on myself.
The Claret's a good colour, mate. I even tie the fiery brown beetle just with Claret
just with
seals
Claret.
through anyway, you know.
I got Claret possum here. I got a Claret tail dyed Claret. So it could have a chance. Move the voice back a bit. I'm going to put back in the board so you're not seeing each other.
Beautiful.
Right, we're back again, and we've got a bigger hook. So I'm going to make it a little bit easier. But it's a fly that you could easily sit down, have a cup of tea, glass of wine, knock out 9 or 10 of them. And because you're using big hooks, you can bash the rocks with them. It doesn't matter. Like you don't care about losing them, because it's not a and trout love them. But so the original deer here is called a roe deer, which is native to the UK. Aussie Angler did have some roe here. I've got some of it. I think they've paid a import tax on it. It's cheap.
So does Trout Law. They've got it.
They've got it, do they? It's cheapest chips in Ireland and the UK, but fairly pricey here. But it does give that color, and it gives that crinkle on the fly.
Unfortunately, Bernie, the deer that we've got here, which can be hunted, there's not very many species that we can use for fly tying.
Can you use sambar?
Oh,
or they just
Oh, not really.
Yeah, red deer is hopeless.
Yeah, it's funny, but I use fallow from Tassie because you get some free fallow deer.
Yeah,
and everybody says it's crap, and I've used it on plenty of flies and done really well with it.
It works, Tony, does it? Okay.
It doesn't have the same flotation properties as North American or like whitetail deer or anything like that.
Yeah,
but still works.
I just thought we were just pushing it uphill. I've never known anyone who's used hog deer to tie anything, but that may work.
Yeah, I've got a bit there. I'll tell you what's the best stuff is caribou.
Caribou.
Which is reindeer. And you can put it in the water, leave it to see a deer hair. One will sink over a week or a couple of days, and the caribou 7 days later still sitting up like Jack on top of a dog box.
We're just going for it.
I think they're pretty hollow, those things.
What I've done this time is to save my cutting, I've actually cut it in my hand, which I'll do the next one, and then just presented it to the fly. I'm going to do I use a Crystal Flash and Pearl Red this time as my flash, just to continue on your claret color. Ones we use is
that's the row from Trout, by the way.
That one. All right.
Skywall product.
All right.
What's that, Tony?
That's the row. Sorry for interrupting, but that's from Trout Law.
Yeah.
But it's row, marketed under the Tywall brand.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So I've popped in my flash. Double it up because it does get a bit slippy. The only thing about roll is it's great fiber, but it is slippy. Pop on some wax. I'm going to do a BBO on this, which is going to be, I'm going to put some black on. So if you look at, as we go along, So the internet is good. There is the Sedgehog. There's also the Sedgehog, which you can put CDC underneath it. And you can also use the Sedgehog carrot, which is similar to the carrot fly we used in Taz. I'll send out some links that I've used. There is the CDC hedgehog. There's also a green mayfly one as well. They use 22-foot leaders here with 3 flies 6 or 7 feet apart. And that would be a challenge casting on a windy day. I'm not going to lie to you. The only bad thing with these is when they do get in a mess, you take out your second rod because they're normally you've normally lost, or you can sit there and be frustrated and swear a bit. And because normally when you do get hung up, the trips come on or something. Like when we lockfish, we'll have 3 or 4 rods set up. So if we do get hung up, as we joke, you're hung up, sir. And if the person in the front of the boat's hung up, they have to sit into the middle and someone else goes, because we'd have 3 people in the boat. So if the guy in the middle is hung up, he just stays there. The guy in the front or the back's hung up, he moves into the middle. And he then has to try. So you just drop a rod and pick up a rod. But it's, yeah, you don't, because I was the youngest man in the boat, I'd always get the middle. So I'd have to wait for the 2 guys cast out. Because if I lifted my rod, I would catch them. And you learn very quick when you foul hook 2 other lines in the air and you take the whole boat out. You get lots of encouragement. So what they do is they pick up the rods and then I have to fix up the tree, like Ryan's and fix everything. So you learn. I've often lost an hour trying to get everything back, but
Be asking you to take a swim.
yeah. So as I was saying, the way to get around, so there is like a little fluff there which you can use to use something else, but if you don't take that off, that will pull out of your fly over time. So then you have an anorexic sedgy. So I'm going to grab it there. I'm going to come in, cut it at an angle. So that's going to make it a lot easier for me to tie it down. And then I've got a little bit of flash. I'm going to come in with my super glue here and pop that on. So it's just to make the flies, a bit more, that they can take a beating and you can fish them harder as well. And it's because it is very slippy. It's very slippy. You could wax the thread, but then put on your dubbing wax again. Your cart. I mean, seal's fur is a bit spiky anyway. As a lot of the modern dubbings is a lot easier to use, but try and keep it traditional. And I think that was like $6.50 for that small little bit. That's tiny. Like you can buy a big clump of, like, say, some of the light bright, you get out like a whole big box of it. And then I'm just going to put a bit more, clean out the ends. The one thing is with using any deer hair, as you all know, like by the time you're finished, you need a vacuum or a casher vacuum. We don't sell 6-packs, lucky enough. I was going to buy a Dyson to just clean up my voice, but I just couldn't do it. And get your tail, clean it up. Then get your front, clean it up. And then we're going to present it, so it's going to be sitting back. Take it here. All right, now I want to make it really. Super glue. I've actually overdone this one. Sorry about the PG there. We overburnt it, but anyway, did the job. So it is a bit clean. Like the super glue burns as well. So I got away with that. You know, I was very lucky.
Well done. No, that was control.
Bernie, I think the legs might look good.
Yeah, I think they would. I struggle to tie the knots in the legs. Let's see.
I'd buy them.
You buy 'em. Yeah, you can buy them whole feathers tied in knots.
So I've got a claret. I'm obsessed with claret, as you guess. I've got a claret pheasant tail, and I use these for a lot of my flies. So I'm gonna try this on the fly. Lucky I've got small hands. This is not going to work. Right, we get the idea. I'm not even going to try that. But yes, if you had your claret legs sitting in there, I do have leg fiber, but I don't think it's going to float. That's the problem. There. See.
I reckon that'd fish beautifully looking like that.
I've got silly legs, but they're not. I've nothing the right color.
I don't reckon you'll need them, Bernie.
Yeah, no, I think they'll just overdo it. I think you just put a. But yeah, I think Vin, you're right. If you had your, you know, if you got your pheasant tail there, properly knotted, that would sit in there lovely on the side. But
yeah,
I don't have it. It's probably something I'd leave when I've had a couple of whiskeys just to frustrate me to death. They're too big.
What you need is Rainy's easy leg knotting tool.
All right. Does it work? Or is that just...
Well, it does if you use it.
Yeah, sure. So I've got a
little crochet hook.
Big hackle here.
Yes, that's the other way of doing it.
I'll come across the top again.
You ever use those little knit combs, Bernie, for combing out the deer hair?
I haven't. I sort of use, where's my this thing here? But yeah, I've seen them because I'll also, like, I just use Velcro, but they will use it because then they use that comb then to create a dub as well. So that they'll put it into the dub box. Yeah, so
I find them good, you know, because they've got a couple of different widths,
different
very
types,
fine, of course.
Yeah.
Good old toothbrush works well for that.
Yeah,
just used to doing this
not
with my
quite as good as the knit comb though.
Knit combs, yeah, I've never used one of those.
Just go to one of those Chinese, you know, $2 shops. They probably cost you about $3.
Yeah.
And they come in a little packet and fantastic.
I'm afraid my kids are a bit too old to go and ask them for their knit combs anymore.
We don't have to worry. There's not much left on top.
No. Yeah, but being a primary school teacher for a lot of my life, it was a bit of an occupational hazard.
You would have seen it, yeah.
No, so I'm really having good fun with not bringing the left arm into play.
You're doing extremely well, Bernie.
I've got away with it.
Put that hand in front where you really want to do it, don't you?
And it's coming on really nice. I really do like the head in this.
I reckon
I
that
do
was a cracking fly, that one.
get a bit pedantic on the heads. Because I just get my little super glue or Sally Hansen's, which I have, but it's solid. I'm waiting for my UV solar res to arrive for this type of stuff. So just UV-ish because it's just quicker. Or it's a gimmick, but this is just a job as well.
Human whip finisher.
Don't think that'll pull apart.
See, Bernie,
No.
there's a little lesson just in what you just did there.
Yeah.
In one session, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which I'm actually doing. I mean, I know we've got all the tools, but like I don't break stuff with my hands because I know that I can
Yeah.
feel it. You know, like a lot of the hackers, I'll just use my hand, and then as I wrap around, I'll just trap my finger, and then pick it again, because So
Yeah, I get that. It was that multi whip finish with your fingers. That's what I was talking about, though.
yeah, just a standard whip finish. So that's it there. So that's a bigger one, and you can see the red is a little bit more. It is there, the flash, but it's not as pronounced as. Let's take this little thing here. I'm not happy with that.
Velcro does that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bugger. It pulls out those knots.
Yeah. So that's it there, and as you can see, I have put a little bit less dressing, but that's a meaty fly now. Like that's a. Where's my other one? You can see the difference. Same fly.
Yeah.
So I actually would probably put both of them up, this in the front, this in the middle, and put something with a little less meat on the end. Clan sheaf, I think that's the name of it. Or I do one of these here, mallard and claret. That's like that one there. Pop that up on the end. So your lightest fly on the end is always, that's the one that's going to sink more. You pop that up. Or you'd even put something like, you put this up on the end with tons of web on it. Which is interesting that when you're seeing, you learn lots when the guys were talking about lock fishing with putting smaller flies on the end. We'd see this as a small fly, but I know when I went out to, is it Yan, or where did this put a lot of big trout out past the golf club? There was a small place. I think it was
Yarmbat.
Yarmbat. Yeah, Yarmbat. I was fishing in Yarmbat. I had a fly similar to this as an indicator, and then a size 16 pheasant tail nymph, and it was just catching tons and tons of fish.
Mm.
That's not something you'd ever do in Ireland, or maybe we should, but you'd never turn up and use that method
Because they're
We'd
just
always-
too small, Bernie.
too small. But also, I think wouldn't you just need the balls to put it up as well in the team, because I would get slagged. Like I'd turn up with stuff like this, catch flies, and then like, can I get a couple of your flies? And my brother has my fly box in Ireland, and he's had a couple of guys say, can your brother tie me a couple of them flies? And I don't even know what they are. He sent me pictures of them because there's just stuff I've tied. Like a lot of them is this type of pattern. Another one is, I don't have any, I've lost them. Oh, I do, that's it there. And that bad boy. So it's a green dodder that's got a lot of hackle on it. But you put that up along with something like that there, you're put them fish are coming at you, like them fish are moving at you. So it's and I'm no way a lock specialist. I'm beginning to get better at the rivers, but I do get slagged and make pictures of the fish up. So that's the Sedgehog. I'll flick out some links, and then if you want to just make it easier, just don't put the hackle on, and then it's a hog. Or you can push the hog, which is you can put your legs on. Then I will try the legs when I do have a crack at them. I'll also look at another pattern here. So it's fairly easy to tie, but there is a couple of things in it. So you've got your herrings 1, 2, 3, and you've got your flash in them. So it's a fly I like to tie, and
Yeah.
I'll definitely bring it to Tassie. Be interested to see what Vin, your mate, would think of it. What's his name? Oh, what's the guy in Tassie? I'm actually Norm. What Norm would think of a fly like that. It would be interesting to see, because these guys see tons of flies. What to think of something like that?
Well, if you ask Norm, he'd give you a very honest opinion, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
Look, but you want that, Like I've seen some of the stuff, so that's it there. Just gonna have a look here.
Hey, Bernie.
Yep.